They're mean, they're mad, and they're making other guests sad are influencers, both online and in real life, destroying the happiest place on earth. It's the claim that's being made from a major analyst looking into this sort of thing, and we'll give you our take. We'll let you know, can it be resolved, or are these degenerate voices online and in front of the castle too much to redeem? It is a wonderful day, folks, and it's wonderful because you're here. Let's get ready for another video of pure excellence, explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. It is what we do, and we do it with a passion, a zeal that even the pixie dusters can feel. Folks, drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on all of this. Are the influencers, the people with the cameras, the grips, all that kind of stuff, do they need to get a grip when they're at the theme parks? Are they getting in the way of the kids? Let us know, and we're about to put a lid on some of the bad behavior online from the cupcakers. Click that like button, and here we go. All right, folks, are influencers destroying Disney World? That's the story we've got for you, and it's coming to us from Geeks and Gamers by Alex Gurzo, YouTuber Kiki Chanel. How do I say this, Jonas? How do I say this, Marvin? Chanel. Kiki Chanel says influencers are ruining Disney. And there may be a good point to this. A YouTuber named Kiki Chanel posted a video claiming that Disney sucks now, primarily based because influencers are ruining the Disney parks. Kiki has many videos on her channel criticizing influencers and social media on a range of topics, from melodramatic videos to ruining the college experience to being out of touch. This time she takes aim at their behavior at the Disney parks and how they cause trouble for families and other park guests in a variety of ways. I want to show you just a few brief clips of this, but here's what she had to say.
Influencers are ruining Disney. Disney is a place where people are already acting extremely selfish with their behavior. You know, they're pushing past people. It's a free-for-all. Adding influencers into the mix, it just makes everything 10 times worse. This guy is in the line, holding up the line.
We'll skip ahead just a little bit. Here we go.
He's got his...
What are we doing?
Yes, interviewing guests. Is it a microphone?
I'm not interviewing guests.
Yes, you are.
That's our friend. We came with them. I thought everyone here be filming.
I'm going to ask you now to stop filming.
Doesn't everyone here film?
Not the
And
way
of course, did they stop? No. These employees are just doing the best that they can, you know, to make...
All right, so there you go, folks. Influencers everywhere. Now, we have shown you before just how empty the parks have become. What's not fun for Disney is that as they are dealing with lower crowd levels, guys, there are still the influencers, because these people have made it now a career, many of them, to be near the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Disneyland, and they form these ecosystems. They've got these communities, and they're walking around with their cameras. They've banned the selfie sticks, but they're still out there with sort of obtrusive and intrusive objects that cause problems in lines. They're talking loudly during attractions. Now, most people, most influencers that go down to Disney are just fine. They're just fine. But there's enough now, I think, that it is starting to ruin what otherwise could be a good time. Ron, what are you seeing in terms of influencers being down at Disney and maybe some gratuitous use of equipment and getting in the way of families? And do you think that maybe Disney has a problem now with Disney adults being even a larger focus than they should be inside the parks?
So as often as I've gone, I haven't really seen that much personally disruption, other than I want to say, like during a fireworks show where everybody's really gathered together, you see some influencers, and I don't know what type of maybe gimbal or other device that they have, but sometimes they actually are. These things are really compact. And then all of a sudden they pull them out and they're like a 7-foot pole that they've got their camera on, and they're getting in front of kids. I've seen so like the last time I was at Happily Ever After, there was a lot of not only stumbling over people going on, but during that particular show, I had heard that literally in that crowd that I was in, and I didn't see it, that somebody actually got arrested and pulled out by Orange County Sheriff's Department.
You got situations, Ron, where these influencers, they want to have the best spot for their shot of, you know, because they're live streaming 12 hours every day in the park, and they want to be the one at the parade, and darn if there's a kid in the way, get out.
Yeah, that's when they're rude to families, and especially rude to kids who that's who Walt Disney created these parks for, was kids and families, and to have that experience where multiple generations of a family could be together, grandparents, parents, and kids. some teenagers, and then the littlest of kids. And there's a lot of little kids at the Magic Kingdom. I mean, this is the Princess Park. This is where you take the little kids. And so, yeah, you don't want to see that in there. And it's like, as a person who is kind of doing this as my job myself, I always try to be very, very cautious. I do not take big equipment in the parks with like the big camera and the giant size microphone with all the fluffy stuff around it. And I personally prefer just to use my cell phone. And I try to be as respectful to families and the other people that are going around. And I think a lot of influencers do that. But there are some that literally just don't care. And the other thing that you have to remember at Walt Disney World is you have influencers from all over the globe. There's a lot that are not English speakers, and there are a lot whose cultures might be very different than our culture, and as to what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And so you see that. So you see it big time in the gatherings, for example, like I said, at the fireworks shows, but also the concerts that take place at Epcot. You see somebody's trying to watch a concert, their family is there, and then the influencer pulls out all their equipment, and all of a sudden they've got like this big standing tripod in front of a family that's trying to, see whoever's performing that night.
Let's talk another of the problems here with the influencers and these Disney adults. Continuing out of Geeks and Gamers, many of the people buying items are resellers who buy up the stock and sell it online at inflated prices. The video shows people buying up all the Disneyland Halloween merchandise in August. Pins are another prime target for this practice, particularly on Pintastic Tuesday, when exclusive pins go on sale. Not nearly as much fun as Taco Tuesday, I'll tell you. With one woman saying her child's stroller was knocked over in the melee. Some even bring in fake pins, ones designed to look like real Disney pins, and trade them for real pins, ripping off the honest guest traders. Other clips show influencers yelling at park guests, insulting them. Park employees aren't exempt from harassment either. According to some of the video clips, Kiki also shows screenshots of online comments in which people complain about influencers at Disney parks and offer personal stories, such as seeing an influencer in the handicapped area blocking the view of a concert. You can see here WDW News Today reporting regular tickets sold out for New Year's Eve at Magic Kingdom already. And much of that is going to be people who want to be there to live stream the thing. It does get significantly worse, okay? And I want to show everybody this. If we go here, there's an account out there on X, and you're going to see that there's a very badly behaved community that is, that they will treat others very poorly. And so this account is talking about somebody that I've had friendly interactions with online, Wallen Ballin, who loves Epic Universe and talks about it. Cool. Goes to the theme parks. And you can see they wish this Wallen Ballin guy a future where you can come to realize why many people truly hate him. Like, good grief. And we could go through a lot of accounts like this. It seems to me, Jonas, that we've reached a point where adults are taking these kids' theme parks a little too seriously. It's getting weird out there, and they're doing some things that I think are extremely uncomfortable, maybe pathological, and they need to remember that it's about kids watching Mickey Mouse on a parade float. That's what it's about.
I think that's the problem with the entire company, is that the entire company has lost track of the idea that this is supposed to be a family park and bringing families together. There's been a unusual cultural tide that is very focused on people who we might call it arrested development, people who have reached a certain age and continue to favor childish things, and they just stay in that state of perpetual adolescence, only getting larger in their income growing, but not really maturing in that way that they go ahead and have a family. And I'm not saying that that's what everybody needs to do in their entire life, but it's very problematic for a theme park company with a multi-generational marketing approach like Disney to start down this path of saying, we're going to very specifically go for this niche of the market, and that market will grow as people age into it, and they will die out of that market, and to just stay there, as opposed to trying to cultivate something that appeals to children. I'm thinking of like things like a 21 and over bar to where you can have a seat inside to watch the fireworks, which are outside in the sky. So this is a company that has been doing it for the gram for many years now, and they've had a Instagram first approach and then a TikTok first approach. So they're all about those quick bites. They're all about things that are headline driven. As far as the Wallen Ballin thing goes, I've seen a little bit of pushback on my statement on what Wallen Ballin used to post. Is I think that what was it? The line from the Count of Monte Cristo is that Fernand got a pony for his birthday, and Edmund got a whistle, and it drove Fernand insane. That Edmund enjoyed his whistle more than Fernand enjoyed his puppy. Sorry, pony. So it's one of those things. I think the guy really liked Epic, and he was very enthusiastic about it. And people would say, "Well, he was doing it to shove it in our faces." Like, okay, well, don't follow his account then.
Well, this is so strange to me, Marvin. Let me get you in here. It says this individual says deleting your accounts a month after going fully mask off. Mugga. We call it the Epic effect. But here's where it gets into this is horrible. Sketch Air says, so are conservatives not allowed in theme parks? Get off your high horse. And the account says, that is exactly what I said. There's this ecosystem of people. There's this ecosystem of people who they are like enforcing some kind of strange online club. And it seems to me that Disney has sort of generated this. Again, you're exactly right, Jonas, with this Instagram mentality and allowing some of this videoing stuff to happen in the way that it does. I think this is cultivating a community of sort of degenerate communications.
Right. The most engaged fans of Disney on social media, and maybe we would be considered in that, are the most highly opinionated. But we do it, honestly, though, we do it for the kids. Like, when we come in here, what we try to do is we try to say, hey, we want families to go to Disney World or Disneyland or wherever and get the best bang for their buck and have the most fun. And like, that's what we advocate here. We don't get all in a tizzy about, I know. I'm just trying to be self-reflective at the same time. I think that what they're doing is incorrect. I'll give you a quick, for instance. Someone deleted it, but I got a screen cap of it.
Do you now?
The poster of Soarin' Across America, and they said, I don't like it because it reads MAGA.
Oh yeah.
It was basic patriotism in the way that Walt had been doing for 50 years, and so it's one of those things. It's like, well, so is anything that is positive about America not acceptable for these parks? Then you're giving up on an incredibly large part of the audience. It's not. We could chuckle about some of the diversity initiatives of the 90s. But they didn't come with the shaming that the woke era did, where they said, you will like this and you will like our storylines as poorly as they're written, or we will call you mean names that mean that you should be shunned from society.
Right. We'll torment you.
Right. So this is something where one side wants to be the only one that controls the parks, whereas I think everybody understands that where real money is made, forgive me for quoting out of order, where real money is made is in the sensible center.
That's right. Mainstream, middle, the sensible center where money is made. Marvin, your thoughts on all of this deranged behavior that we're watching? Influencers knocking kids out of the way, being, just absolutely insufferable to the cast members, and waging strange online battles where their goal is to wipe people off of social media and torment them and laugh about it once they're gone. What is this, Marvin?
So this is a situation where infantilized adults who lean to a particular side have decided that the Disney parks are their safe space.
Oh, I see.
That is the place where you are not allowed to inject anything they don't want to see. It's why they become incensed if someone is wearing a particular hat. It's they don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want anything around them. It's just for them. It's not for the kids. It's not for the families. It's just for them. It's me and my magic. And if anything comes in the way of my magic, I will fight you tooth and nail. But I think Disney is maybe starting to see, especially with all the stuff that they're going to be doing for the semi-quincentennial that they've just announced.
I'm glad you could pronounce that correctly. That's better than me.
That there is going to be a shift toward Americana that they are going to absolutely hate. Because these are the people that will say, like, after Trump got elected, that were like, by the way, 4th of July is canceled this year. You're not allowed to do it. Like, they literally were saying that on on social media. And like, no, it's not. 4th of July is not canceled. People actually like living here. I think Disney is starting to realize that the infantilized adults crowd, they're usually the ones that aren't having kids. And they're going to have their Disney fandom and spend their money and not leave behind kids who are then going to have their own kids who are going to basically replenish the Disney fandom over time.
What's the acronym for that, Marvin?
Is having families.
What's the acronym, Marvin, for that?
DINK. Dual income, no kids. Which, by the way, I just realized today that Mr. and Mrs. Dink on Doug was a pun on Dinks, and that's why they had so much money for all that very expensive stuff.
I love it. I love it. Culture, your thoughts on influencers and the bad behavior that we're seeing? It's kind of making a mess of the magic, and I wonder if it's adding to the low crowd levels at Disney that people are tired of dealing with. Listen, the majority of these people who are doing this, they're kind, they're gentle, they're good, they're responsible, but maybe 10% now have risen to that level of just being obnoxious.
Yeah, but here's the weird thing. I think this has been a problem for a long time. I used to venture to the parks on the regular. I don't anymore, but I used to. And there'd be, 4 visits a year to Florida and maybe 1 or 2 to California just to do the park stuff. And the influencers really started to stack up around 2010, 2011, 2012. I started to see the invasion, and most of them were kind and thoughtful, and they understood the world around them and really didn't, make it a menacing behavior for the people around them. That certainly changed. Now, I know a lot of people that are influencers that make material from the parks, do extraordinary jobs, and do their level best to stay out of the way in every way.
Yeah, and culture. So like Ron does a wonderful job of this.
Yeah.
Jay and Krista of Park Hoppin', they do a fantastic job. But culture, some of these people have turned Disney World into their own little Twitch con.
Well, and that's the other problem, right? Because it certainly does shift the safety bubble a little bit, and it certainly does shift the immersive bubble a little bit. And, having all these people with all these devices getting in your way constantly is a real issue. Most people are going to the parks to enjoy the parks, not to film themselves eating the latest cookie or whatever. I mean, one of the most ridiculous things that I've seen is at Disney Springs when they introduce some kind of new pastry at what is that shop called? It's
Gideon's.
Yeah, Gideon's. Yeah. And, and this new cake bake shop thing, Disney's actually creating these events and these types of situations to appeal to this influencer crowd who they hope will promote it to their audience, which of course they do. And that Disney looks at it as free advertising. And that's why you have a very strange kind of access media that Disney's been doling out for a while. I would have been one of the perfect people to do this, except I was not interested. I'm a park guy. I go there to enjoy the park itself. I like the attractions, but first and foremost, it's the environment, which Disney doesn't understand. They have a certain percentage, a pretty large one, that likes the ambiance of, Frontierland. They're not going to like it anymore. So you may lose out on park people who now realize that Epic has a lot to offer in that center park area. So like you said, I feel like this was always on the horizon, and it's always been ruining things. And I think you guys are right to call out the dinks, the Disney adults, the lifestylers, the people who, aren't going to have another generation to support Disney. And Disney has been incredibly short-sighted. I think all of your assessments are correct.
That's right. And as we get ready to wrap this one, I just want to say to the account, whoever holds that account, Wallin Ballin, this is not right to have a group of people treat you this way. This is too much.
Wallin didn't deserve this. From what I'm to understand, he does a great job. He's very respectful. So he just has a lot of great information. And
even if he's not, even if he had made a mistake online, like this is too much. And folks, if they'll go after another account, they'll go after you one day because you didn't say the thing that you were supposed to say about a silly theme park. And then the other problem is they don't have boundaries. They don't have lines. So they'll go after beyond you, the people that you love, that you care about. So if Wallin Ballin is listening to this video right now and probably wasn't expecting us to even bring you up. I just hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing okay. I don't know if you messed up ever or not online. I don't know. But people deserve to be treated nicely and respectfully. And this was not that. And I'm so displeased with whatever that community is. I don't want to be any part of a community that is mean to one another. And there's no excuse for it. None whatsoever. And folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, it would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun.
Jump into the water. Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.